Okay.
kind of the same thing.
That's all right. Go ahead. Whatever.
What do you feel like are the major changes that have happened in journalism, and which ones do you think are good, and what do you think is not so good? And you could read a question.
Well, I think the advent of online journalism has its pluses and minuses. The pluses are that people can get news quickly. The minuses are that they don't have trained people putting that stuff up there. So a lot of junk gets posted online, and people believe whatever they're reading. So and this is not just even the newspaper websites are okay. They're just okay though, but people read blogs online and they take them for fact too. So that's a bad thing. I like the immediacy of online, so I'm not really that old-fashioned. I read a lot of online products. Let's see, I'm trying to think what the other good things are. You want to say the good things that are happening? Is that the question? Was what are the good
Good and bad.
in journalism now? Right? That's the question.
Yeah, between then and now.
Okay. The sense of community, of serving a community, that's gone. So that's bad that that's happened. That in fact the Banner much better represented the community of Nashville than the Tennessean does. The Banner was a city paper; they covered the city, so that's gone. So the depth of coverage in general is gone. There aren't as many people covering stories, so that's unfortunate because there is a real duty of journalism. If you got into journalism for the right reason, you got in there to help people, to be a gatekeeper, to help people. That's not the right word. Watchdog, to help just to help, and keep the government out of everybody's business. Make sure that the leadership was held accountable, and also you competed with other newspapers. So actually, everybody was in other news organizations, TV stations too. Everybody was trying. So everybody was trying hard. You know, whether you were working in Clarksville or at the Nashville papers, or at the New York Times or the Washington Post, you were covering whatever stories you were supposed to cover, but you were competing with other people. So the readers or the watchers, the viewers, got the best product they could choose from. So they got all sides and balanced coverage. Nowadays, probably, and I'm going to sound really old here, but really probably the very worst thing that's happened is that everybody are news partners. That the Tennessean and the Knoxville News Sentinel and the Memphis Commercial Appeal and Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 2, Fox, they're all news partners. The Daily News Journal in Murfreesboro, they're all news partners. They share their news. So if you have a story that's covering the University of Tennessee, if this even applies to football, okay? Football is a big deal. Used to be, and so it used to be more big deal on newspapers. But if you were covering the University of Tennessee and the state of Tennessee, that was a big deal. So every major paper had somebody who was dedicated to covering UT, football and basketball, particularly women's basketball and the football team. It was a big thing. So you had the Banner or you had Tennessean, you had somebody dedicated to covering that. Now in the Commercial Appeal had somebody dedicated to covering that. Now they all share the same copy. So you only have one guy over there in Knoxville writing this story, and every other paper in the state is carrying that same story. So they're not competing. So things like corruption in the athletic department, that doesn't happen very often, but something like that, or bad recruiting, a recruiting violation, you don't have people digging to outdo each other and getting those stories anymore. Now you just accept what one person says. And I'm not saying that one person is bad. I'm just saying there's no competition anymore. That applies. You watch the TV news and they say our local news partners at the Leaf Chronicle or at the Daily News Journal or at the Chattanooga Times, they're reporting such and such. But the news station's not reporting it. They're reporting what's been reported. And I think that's the worst thing that's happened because it just made the news bland and redundant and almost unimportant on the coverage. Now, I'm a big fan I have a lot of friends in this business, and they are hurting too. They don't necessarily, the working people don't necessarily like what's happened, but it is what's happened. That's that. Other than the fact a lot of us have lost jobs, that's the worst thing that's happened. That's the USA Today influence on America, which has homogenized American news. I'm not competing for a job there, so I can say that.